But Zachary, I have to say, Zachary with that smash off to the camera earlier, plus that, he seems a little bit off his game today. Tiny. And again, just caught absolutely flat-footed there.
Shia can really hit it, and in that instance there, forced a weak return from Kiet. But still, I still feel that the setting play from the Petaling pair is not good enough. Their drops are around about the service line. They're not really drawing their opponents forward, putting them under pressure with the short game.
I think that might still be just giving a bit too much respect to the names. And I think in this third game, you might see them start just reacting to opponents as opposed to Zachary Abdul-Latif and Kukenket. That's probably the thing that's playing on their mind the most. It would if I was 18 and standing on the other side of the court.
And the Cheras pair warming up. They're getting very consistent with powerful, powerful booming smashes.
You expect a lot of those. Here's one now.
Like that one.
And there's another one. And there's a third one.
Oh. Having a break.
From smash training practice.
Oh.
Wow, it's good. It's good. Good to see that in a smash battle like that, it's the youngsters that come through, and they are coming through in this third game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what level of game you play. It's a sinking feeling when the first three tries don't work.
Yeah. It's usually the third one that kills it.
They ended up having to give away the attack.
Of course, some of these younger doubles pairings that we've been watching at Moa City, they'll start on one end of the court with the first one, then they'll move across to the middle, start the second one, and then the third angle is the one that confuses. And you're not really seeing that from the legends right now. They can try that if they want. And I have to say that Ong Soong-Hok and Hendra Setiawan they lasted, well, they took that first game by doing it. So
excellent,
maybe they were more
excellent attack from
really
Ishmael
good.
There. First shot to the body, second shot to the feet, and then he decides to attack the opponent on the third.
Now that's what I mean. I think they're going to warm up now to the fact that they're just playing a game of badminton and not against idols. And so hopefully we'll see. And that's good movement from them.
Showing the skill. We've got that too.
Nice, better solid performance from Risky and Sharp. Obviously there are consequences of this game and the result of this game, but really I think what everybody here at the stadium and everybody watching at home wants to see is these two youngsters win this match, because that's what the Kopiko Purple League is all about. It's a transference, it's almost a generation handover of the baton, really. And it's going to sting for the likes of Kukenket and Zachary and all the rest of them. But it has to be done at some point, for the good of the nation, for the good of the national badminton setup, of course.
Well, yeah.
Always
no
nice.
player on earth wants to give up the crown without a fight.
Exactly.
However.
And you know that if they do lose this match, Kukenket and Zachary Abdul-Latif will just, before they go to sleep tonight, just look at the ceiling and go, right, okay, so I just got blown off court by an 18-year-old. That kind of feeling, but it's perhaps, you know, there's a great, there's stories all over the place. Michael Jordan coming back from retirement. Why players come back from retirement? Because they have that internal battle with the game. You're a player, Donald. Internal struggle with your game is what it is. And
well,
so
for me, I mean, I'm well past the age where I could even possibly consider myself a prospect, but there's still a lot of enjoyment in just understanding the game and
Are you
becoming an expert.
By the way, you impressed me just when you told me that you were training with them. Okay, just having your hit around, that was enough. But yeah, to a legend, to somebody that's been to some of the highest stages, then you know you set your own standard and benchmark inside, and however old you get, you always want to go back. That's why you see F1 drivers try and drive at 41, or Michael Jordan score points when he's 46, and at some point it has to stop. And as you said, give way the crown to a new era. And look at that score, 7-3, 1-1, Risky and Cheras doing very well in this match. As I said, on paper, when we started off, it was going to look like a straight 3-love, but Kopiko and Zachary have been a little bit slow on their feet. They've been a little bit too, if I may say so, overconfident perhaps, standing on the other side of the court, not moving as much as they should.
Yes, they had a relatively casual start and perhaps underestimated the ability of their opponents to
seems like a
respond.
classic hijack. That's long as well, so looks like this game is now definitely heading to the youngsters, and it could be. Well, I'm sure someone's going to comment on it, especially if they lose 3-1, Kenket and Zachary. And they really are. They're just trying to respond or reply all this energy and this attack from the youngsters with actual shots, just one-off shots. And as soon as that shot gets returned, as we saw there, there's no cover, there's no positioning.
Correct.
And that's going to let them down for sure.
I mean, if they haven't played together before, then
yeah,
even with the experience they both bring to the game,
exactly,
it's understandable that they're finding their way. And
that's
Shia and Ismail have been well drilled over the last months and years.
And of
course,
course,
a moment to shine, which they're doing tonight.
And we can look at it the other way as well. We have been talking, Donald and myself, about 11-3 in 7 minutes. We've been talking about the importance of positioning and teamwork and understanding. Well, look at what happens even if you are the best shot makers, legendary shot makers, and you don't have that understanding, you can still get blown off court. So it really is a combination of both that you have to have that makes the difference. And possibly 4 or 5 years ago, Zachary and Kopiko were light enough on their feet to get around the court enough. But that's what we've been seeing here. We've been seeing them caught off their feet by a hungry pair, Risky and Shine. Congratulations to them already for taking 2 games off them. And if they win this, well, that could be our first proper, serious, official international star upset. We've seen games taken off them, but we haven't actually seen a match taken off them yet. So
yes, and as I say, Risky has been trying hard in all his matches, not getting a result, so he'll be desperate to score a clean victory.
Now, of course, the other thing they've got to watch out for here is overexcitement, because you're now 2-1 up against Kopiko and Zachary Abdulatif, so you've got to calm it down and keep playing the game the way you play it. They're definitely opening up now. You saw from the movement there, they're definitely a lot more confident with what they're doing.
Taking his time, he knows how important this game is going to be. Great precision from Risky. Just opened up the racket face, let it go down the backhand side. I think. Oh, and again, precise, powerful smashing from Shia in between the pair from Cheras. No answer to that.
And that's what I mean. There's going to be a limit to the amount of defensive shots you can play with a when facing a highly versatile, highly mobile pair who are getting more and more confident with every point. 3-2 up here. And look at that. A lesson being taught back, perhaps.
This is setting the Petaling crowd off, and look at the aggression there. The follow-up very good.
We have seen in all of the other games the legends or the international stars be able to pick it up, but maybe trying to form an understanding in the face of this barrage will be too much for even the great Kukenkat and Zachary Abdulatif in the games that they have within the 11-point system. It might just be not enough time, literally.
Risky just getting suckered a little bit there, watching the shuttle as opposed to getting back in position. And then the gap found in front of him. Wow, confident cross-court smash. Zachary had to turn to receive it, but impressive. A few shots before, how Ishmael slotted into place in front of his partner. Great positional play for going on the attack.
They're looking good here. 2 points ahead. 1 game ahead.
Service fault, lifting the racket. Yes, lifting the racket. Always very difficult one to judge, especially when you're trying to flick your opponent.
Play.
Going long.
So far, so good.
Oh, bad shot, bad shot. Sometimes those happen. Sorry, coach. Oh my word! The combined attacking force of 2 of the most decorated players in doubles badminton. And they held on.
Look at that.
Incredible from Ishmael.
look at the celebration on their faces as well.
This is why the crowd have come here tonight, is to see moments like that.
And they're actually on their feet, off to the left of me, off to the right of me right now. Brilliant performance, fantastic. 7-5. Let's see some more.
He looks cool as a cucumber. Oh, and a day's work for Risky Ishmael. Time.
So they close up a little, but with the confidence steadily rising in these two, it's looking very, very good for them that they will deliver the first official win over vastly experienced opponents. We've already had 15-year-old doubles pairs taking games off Indonesian legends. We've had the likes of Sutek Ji taking games off Lee Hyun-il. Hafiz Hashim had a bit of a scare as well, but they all came through with the match win. But here, now maybe that's something that the crowd didn't want to see. Legends contesting calls, because let's face it, was a call they were contesting, or was it another issue?
Just resetting the concentration. Not a bad thing to do. The Petaling players have got the Cheras crowd to the back, and Cheras have got Petaling to their behind. So let's see how much it means to Latif for that.
Yep.
Exchange to go his way.
Well, I don't think they were expecting this to go like this at all. They are staring down the barrel.
Nice soft touch from Ismail. And again, there's the chance.
Oh. And that's missed, and now it's 8-all, and the crowd are literally raising the roof here at the Sports Arena Sentosa, and so they should, because as I said, we are on the brink of possibly our first official upset. I mean, in terms of youth development against experienced legends, which is what the Kopiko Purple League is all about, matching them all up and pairing them all up. We've seen all of the experienced legends handle the youth so far with an extra gear in their game. If they went down, and they did go down, possibly a game, 2 games, you saw them pull out something extra and blow them out in the end. Well, Kukenket and Zachary have not got an understanding as a doubles team, and so that could lead.
Yes, and they're being exploited by their opponents, but that last exchange had really everything in it that you could want from a doubles badminton match, and I thought I saw some table tennis in there as well, the way the shuttle ping and pong backwards and forwards, jabbing, high speed. Zachary just clipping it as it went over his head. Set up a tight finale to this game.
That's
long.
Oh,
well left.
That's long. Well left.
Yes.
Ducked out the way. And Zachary just being a bit too enthusiastic on that mid-court drive.
Very easy to do. When you're at the front of the court, you're reacting quickly, can't control it.
They are 2 points away now. Biggest headline yet. Biggest headline yet. You've been watching it live here on Astro Supersport. Kopiko Purple League is beginning to deliver some of those results that we all knew could happen. And so here it is, 2 match points. And I think if it was a singles match, then possibly the likes of Hafiz Hashim or Lee Hyun-il or Sonny Dukinchura could probably bring this back. But there is a space between Ku and Zachary that they just can't fix. Yeah, Risky and Shah can find it. Like that one. They've done it. Fantastic performance by the youngsters. They're going to go down as the first youngsters to take out the teachers in the Kopiko Purple League. 11-8 in the fourth. 3-1 they win it. And it's very good for Petaling, of course, because that means that it is now 5-7 in the tie as well. Well
no
done.
more smiling,
well done.
laughing from the Cheras pair.
Now, Donald, I think if there's one player interview we have to hear, it's this one. And Risky and Shia about to talk to JD on court. Let's have a listen.
All right, we're down here courtside with the guys that beat a very experienced side. How does it feel that when you came into the match, everybody was saying, oh, these guys have the experience, they've played before, they know what to do. You came through as winners. How do you feel right now?
Feeling very nervous.
Really?
I'm very excited.
But winning, do you feel better now?
Yeah. Feeling like very lucky.
All right, cool. Now, question for you though. One of the shots that they will be replaying over and over, the behind the body shot. Did you practice that? The one that you hit behind and then you got that point? Did you practice that? I did practice that.
Yeah. Reflex.
Good job, man. Congratulations. Petaling BC. They got 3 right there. Congratulations, guys. All right, more action coming your way. Back to you in the commentary booth.
Definitely more action coming our way. And we just have a look at exactly what we were talking about. Zachary and Koo started confidently, probably bordering on, I would have thought, arrogantly, and thinking that they could just stand on the baseline and ping these shots back. Maybe they'd seen Ong Sung Hock and Hendra Season1 doing it earlier in the tournament, but Risky and Shell were not going to have any of that at all. So by the second game, which was won by some of these great shots that were executed by the big stars, then they started moving around. As you can see, they were jumping higher, they were moving so much faster than the legends, and that's what caught them out in the end.
That was the exchange of the match, that five-shot defense by Risky Ismail. Really astonishing. I think for much of the match, for me, the Petaling pair could have done a lot better with their setting play, which wasn't really precise enough. So there's room for improvement there, but in terms of their desire and hunger to beat this experienced pairing, absolutely faultless. They kept strong,
and their
kept
movement was
heartless
good
all the way through, and got the result. And if at first you don't succeed, you try and try again. And Risky's had 3 games before this without success, and he'll be absolutely delighted to have overcome a couple of the biggest names in badminton doubles.
His first one was literally with the biggest names. We look at it there. They took the smash winners. The unforced errors were, as I said, it's a doubles match, so they probably forced a lot of those for Koo and Zachary, but dominated the net as well. So all in all, it was no lucky shot that they won that. Well done, 3-1. They did it in 33 minutes. The tie is now 5-7, and that's the next match. Number 4, the mixed doubles. One of my favorite pairings, Denchia Putra and Chen Zhao will be taking off Razif Abdul Latif and Sung Hee Cho. And this is the pairing that I'm a big fan of. As I said, Chao Mei Kwan and Arif Latif, and Denchia Putra and Chen Zhao. They haven't quite clicked as well as they should yet, but in terms of their play, in terms of their shot taking, and Chen Zhao's almost unrelenting reliability when it comes to shots. We're going to managers now on court, who are about to talk to JD.
All right, down here with team managers once again, we have Dr. Vincent first from Petaling BC. This pairing has 1 win, 1 loss. Overall, how would you rate their performances so far?
I feel fairly confident with their performances, even though they had 1 loss, but towards all their game, they did win the game for me. And even though they lost, they had 2 versus 3. Yeah, so I'm very confident in their winning again today.
All right, so confidence, overconfidence maybe, we'll see. All right, but let's talk to Reza right now. You use this same combination against Muar City. Didn't really work out as planned. Why do you think it will work out today, though?
Well, like I said the last time, we were a bit weak on our mixed doubles, but I think this pairing has got very good potential, so we're giving them a try again today.
So if they win, will they get a bonus?
Again, I won't say it on live TV.
All right. Back to you in the commentary booth.
JD there talking to the managers and getting the most out of them. And this is the lady that has, along with Cha-Mei Kwan in mixed doubles, been really impressive indeed. Both of them have a reliability factor, completion of shots, which gives a solidity to the teams that they play in. Of course, in the Moa City pairing, it gives Arif Latif the chance to smash from the baseline because Cha-Mei Kwan is so reliable at the net. Well, Chen Zhao is just as reliable in all parts, and of course, surrounding her, is circling her almost in a very traditional mixed doubles format, is Ardensha Putra, who's of course height, physical stature, can really impose the pressure as well. So they are a very strong pairing. They've only been found and caught out because they haven't got quite that understanding yet, and you can just see it's going to happen at some point, but there's a few times. Apart from that, if everything goes well for them, they can't be stopped. And I don't know if Razif Abdul Latif and Sung-Pi Cho can do that. We'll find out. Stephen Ong is in the umpire tower, and Ian Spears in the service judge chair for this. And let's see if Chen Zhao and Ardensha Putra can continue this great development. Of course, the managers, the team coaches have opted to still keep with them. There's been no shifting around. They are the mixed doubles pairing. They've turned up in every tie. And as I said, when you do see reliability like that, and when you do see aggression attacking, which is almost measured, it's pulled back a little bit so they can literally hit their points, then it's a pleasure to watch. On the other side of the court in yellow, of course, Cheras, most probably it's going to be a more free, flexible formation. I would expect Razif to take most of the smashes, obviously, but also take his positions at the net. Not so much on the Petaling side. I can really see Ardensha just playing from mid-court down, honestly. But this, of course, with the tie currently at 5-7, is a critical match.
Yes, in that last game, not only was a momentous victory, breakthrough victory for Petaling, but it got some very valuable points on the board, which keeps them in this tie. So
totally, 100%. I mean, that was it was 6-2 when they started that match. It's 7-5 now, so it was probably the most crucial points that Petaling could have picked up. It was done in spectacular style, really. So after going to a quick 2-point lead, just a loose shot. That's pounced on Maris swinging. That might be a very good play for them, actually, to kill everything in the net. But once again, there you see the stinging shot from Ardensha Putra. Chen Zhao just picking that up a bit slowly. But she, like Cha-Mei Kwan, can also run points herself if she needs to from the baseline straight up to the net. And it's always good to have that depth of variety when you're on a mixed doubles partnership or any doubles partnership.
I think in the modern mixed doubles game, it's important for the players to be very versatile, have their favored positions, but be effective when they're pulled out of position, as happens so often.
Well, so far, just finding their form and maybe the speed and power. Plays of Razif and Sung have been catching them out. 4-2 down. Make that 4-3. That's a good example of what Ardensha Putra can bring to that team. Falling backwards, hook smash.
Sung just smiling because it came off the top of her head.
It's a small court, there's 4 people there. And there you see Ardensha Putra just marshalling that back line. Chen Zhao, well, there's that miscommunication I was talking about. Still a lot to work on there.
He just dived in front.
It's just that when they do, as I said, when they make the transition from attack to defense, that's when there's maybe a foot, maybe 2 or 3 feet either side of them that it can be utilized. And I think it is the pace of Razif and Sung now that's caught them out in this first game. Of course, we did get to see Chan Mei Kwan and Arif Latif in action earlier on in the day. If you were watching Astra, you would have seen them as Moa City took on Serang, and they of course came out with a resounding 3-love victory. Absolutely no troubles at all. But again, did you see them just bunching up there?
Yes, you're right. It's a couple of times they've...
Yep. It's just that tiny miscommunication that hasn't...
Adrian Saya just moving ahead of his partner, not letting her take the shot.
That's a classic example of what Chen Zhao can do. She picked that up at mid-court and returned it with sting, bang, on the money.
Latif just, again, naive to hit from there and not expect to have to run across,
Well,
pick up the return.
I did say that if everything goes their way, they are pretty hard to beat. But right now, this hustling pattern that Cheras are bringing to the game seems to be doing enough.
Certainly, they're not firing on the full cylinders yet.
And there you go.
That's a good shot.
Bang on the money.
So far, Chen is being more effective on attack than Adrian Saya.
She, you know, recently in the last 2 or 3 times, I think she's had to rescue games. That's the thing. So if they ever get in a position where in the front foot, then they'd be able to kill off games. And again, lightning reflexes of the net.
Effective net play.
And she's done it again here. She's brought 2 points and crucial, important points back to the team. Don't forget, she's only 19 years old, just like Chan Mei Kwan, actually.
They've been too high.
And they've given a good chance here at 9 points to 6 for Razif and Sung to take this first game. Another good choice of shot from Chen Zhao. That's more like it. That's more like their, you know, their showcase point right now that they can do.
It's very effective.
Yeah.
Setting from Adrian Saya, drawing forward Sung, sorry, and then following up with the smash.
They need to have, of course, more variations of that point if they're going to be more effective. And they obviously need a little bit of accuracy on that net play as well. So game point. Cheras about to go 8-5 up.
Lightful disguised push into the line, but he let himself down with that net shot. Latif was hovering on his forehand side, so he had to make it tight. And that's
So they
disappointing
lose the
end
first,
to the first game.
11-7. A combination of lack of understanding from Arden Chen plus a bit of speed and hustling from Razif and Sung has led to Cheras taking an 8-5 lead here in the tie. And I have to say, they haven't been clearly winning their games 3-love at all in any way. Not in the same manner that Arif Latif and Chan Mei Kwan have. So they could have expected possibly to drop a game or two. And let's see if they can pull things together here, because it is a crunch match for certain with the tie set at 7-5. Whoever wins this is going to go either clearly in the lead or just in the lead. The fact is that Petaling could take the lead. If they are, they're going to need those two to start performing. Couple of faults creeping in.
Powerful smash again from Chen, targeting Sung. Puts her whole body behind that one.
Yep, got a good action on a smash. And again, just got a little bit confused at the end of that point. And that's what's leading to these.
Sung just pouncing on slightly high net shot. Very quick from Adrian.
And the shift of pace there from Chen Zhao. A little bit better recovery from Ardentia, but still not quite solid enough. And I have to say their reliability this time, in terms of committing their shots, is still building up. That's better. So we've already seen Chen Zhao in a number of different positions on the court pretty much deliver the exact shot needed to save the team, but that's really not the way it should be going. And Valencia right now hasn't really made an impact on it. That's more like it. Oh. Well, they're plagued with all sorts of mistakes today. That's better from Ardentia.
Yes, the good defense from Sun. Not intimidated, receiving those smashes.
And what you do want is a solid line at that back, a solid wall at that baseline, and that's what he's supposed to be. And that was the first point where he really looked like he was confident hitting from there. He's netted a few from midcourt. And he's gone long from the baseline, but that was pretty much bang on. So each of them playing individually quite well. Just not really gelling as a team. And I think we just saw as Zachary Latif and Kukenket prove that you have to be a team. If not, all sorts of headlines could be created. And if you weren't with us, of course, and you were out possibly having dinner, then I can just remind you that the Kopiko Purple League has already delivered its first official, proper upset headline. That a couple of youngsters, a couple of teenagers went out and literally blew Zachary Abdulatif and Kukenket off court. And he didn't rescue the game, they didn't come back. They were just, in the end, quite shown up. Managed to cover that space. Better. They're pulling it together. They're pulling it together slowly.
Sung kept her head with some really calm and collected and precise net shots. And she might be disappointed with Latif for putting that one in the net, although she doesn't show it.
No surprise that the unforced error is currently stacking up on Petaling's side. And this one also looks like it might be running away from them. And allowing Ardi and Chen back into the game. Gives them more time, of course, to settle down into their rhythm. They were kind of hijacked in the first game. Better, much better.
Slower smash from Adincha.
Well, he was picking his spots actually. From
Yeah,
right
might
there,
have
which is quite
confused a
good.
little bit Sung. She tried to move forward onto it. But
So a good chance here for Ardeen Chen. Deep clear from Chen Zhao. And then the good sequential smash that usually does the business and did there to give them game point, which will level this all up. Well, not like that, it won't. High currently 8-5 with that first game already won.
oh, just crept over to take the game.
And now it's 8-6 on the tie score. Oh, she was lucky there.
Pairing from Petaling seemed to be moving a lot better in that game, just getting past some of those positional problems where they were almost at times bumping into each other.
Well, yeah. And so in 8 minutes they take that 11-5, and that'll give them a lot more confidence. This is all balanced up. 8-6 is the current tie score between Cheras and Petaling. We were very honored to have yet another manager in the commentary box earlier this afternoon. Sang-Won Nae-sun from Kopong joined me, gave us a great insight into some of the thinking and the strategies that the clubs are of course engaging in as they move through the league. And one of the most important things he said was, of course, that this mid-season break that will start immediately after this tie till January the 2nd, when match day 5 will start, is actually welcomed by all the clubs, because it's given them a good platform in the first 4 ties to test out their structures, to test out their teams, to get into the flow of delivering points, because that's what you're going to need to win the league. And so with 7 match days coming between January the 2nd and February the 5th, most of the clubs are confident they can turn their fortunes around, whether good or bad right now, to deliver a result in February. We get into game 3.
Latif was onto that in a flash, winding it up.
And he put everything into it
sure
as well.
of it.
Well, it definitely looked at that point that the Petaling pair had found their range a little more, and they were confidently joining a very fast net exchange, mid-court to mid-court. It was just that final shot at the end that got them, but pulling it together.
It's gone in. So Rasivinsing moving ahead.
So far, the quick hustling game seems to be enough. That
We just feel that Rasivin and Sung are really working as a partnership a little bit more effectively than their opponents have throughout the match. There's been some individual points where the skills have shown, but
it is teamwork.
it's
What we've
teamwork
seen
which is going to count.
in this match and the last match is that teamwork is what it's all about. There have been a lot of lessons that have been taught in each of these match days, down even to the literally the most basic ones, like singles players playing doubles matches and doubles players playing singles matches. But today we've seen truly exemplified what the power of teamwork can do. Two heads really are better than one. And if you don't get it right, then well, you're in trouble before you pick up the racket.
Mate took a risk on that serve. He tried to fool Adencha, but of course he's standing a little bit further back as the male server, the mixed doubles formation. So it came back with interest.
And a lot of interest. And that one also just powered and forced in. So one good way to upset teamwork and partnership is of course just to keep powering and hammering smashes to the body. Very disorientating. There's still a lot to be done. Coming up after this, of course, we'll have the men's singles, and I'll be the captain of Petaling, Iskander Zulkarnain, taking on side Akbar Shah. And we saw, of course, both players in action before, and Iskander probably looks to be the favorite for that one. He seems a lot more confident with his game.
Yeah, Iskander is the favorite on paper, but Syed Akbar is coming back really from a long layoff. He hasn't really been that active on the circuit.
Yeah.
And he actually looked quite comfortable in his last match, but just couldn't find a way to break down his opponent.
It was, I remember that, it was quite, it was long, it was a drawn out affair. Unlike that point. But I just think Iskander being captain, Iskander trying to, especially with the tie this close at 7-5, perhaps that might shade it, but it'll be an interesting match for sure.
Yeah,
it's coming
Iskander
up right after this.
being almost flawless in his matches and getting a massive confidence boost with a 3-2 victory over Tan Chong Siang.
That's right.
And so far, after that, he has looked pretty unstoppable.
Well, went for what I like to call the 9-ball shot. The shot's going to win the point immediately, and it has to be exact. That wasn't. They are a funny pair. They're a strange pair because there are times where you actually think that the shuttle is going to land in empty space, and then all of a sudden, Adencha or Chen will just pop out of nowhere and rescue it. So they're not actually there at the right time still, but they are managing to cover a lot more space than you'd expect. It is really a case of rescuing points right now for them, as opposed to planning and producing points. But as I said, all the clubs see these first 4 ties as R&D, research and development, for a lot of different areas, not just logistics, but obviously team mechanics as well. So I'm sure with the training that will not stop for them. We might all go on holiday, but they're all going to keep training. That on January the 2nd, we're going to see a good slew of improvements and fine-tuning to each of the 12 clubs that make up the Kopiko Purple League. Hammer down, sequential smash.
That's the teamwork that we were talking about.
Yep.
Sung is right there, picking up the return No mistakes. And Latif has been the more effective of the male attackers as well in this match, which has been something of a differentiator so far for the Cheras side.
Adi has been just a little bit off. Actually, he has, his pickups have been pretty good. Almost a miscommunication there.
Chen
And
finding
Chen
herself
Zhao
at the back of the court.
Yeah, alone. And that shot there was almost blocked by Adi as well.
You have to ask, why is our Ardentia in that position and Chen behind?
Well, why is Adi standing in the middle of the court? Exactly, he shouldn't have been there. So that's what they've got to work on. And I have to say, from the last time I saw them come out, it hasn't improved. If anything, they've lost a lot more points this time around because they were a little bit tighter before. And so obviously a work in progress. Now, just a brief pause in play. I think it's from I think it's just a question of the fans getting a little bit exuberant, probably still reacting from that last match that we saw. Don't forget, it's all very well to have a new environment, atmosphere in badminton, but it does have to be monitored and regulated, of course, so that play can proceed. That one's out, much to the delight of the Cheras fans. So, the Cheras pair take that one 11-7. They are now in the driving seat. And based on that game, I'm pretty sure, Donald, you're going to agree with me that it looks like Rasif and Sung might be able to take the fourth as well. If they can continue this pressuring and hustling and teamwork.
Will make the last two games very interesting. If Iskander is expected to win his match against Shah, let's see if that happens in practice.
That's right.
And it could set up quite interesting finale, but this game's not over yet.
True, very true. And of course, don't forget Go V Shem is still to come for Petaling. And not just a legend, but currently playing and top of his game as well. So he's going to be teamed up with Chenja Hao, and they're going to take on Chawut Potieng and Wachara Ranakiao. We'll see if Govi Shem's experience, of course, he's been in a lot of action this year as well. A lot of headlines. He's getting into the peak of his game. Can actually direct that pair and once again deliver that leadership and teamwork and makes doubles work.
Carefully placed over the net by Sung. Oh, yes. Wheezy, but oh, called a fault.
What?
Called a
No
foul.
way.
How disappointing.
That has got to be the most frustrating thing that could happen.
Backward.
He had Ardi running a 200-meter sprint there. Look at that.
Piece of delicious magic.
It was a very interesting return, shall we say. And then
Too greedy at the end.
the racket over the net. And the foul is called. Can't let yourself get carried away with the moment, because if you do, the regulations of badminton that still exist within the Purple League format, really the points and format of scoring that have changed, will come and get you. So Arnie and Chen with nice little gift there. They were in trouble, Donald. They were definitely in trouble, no doubt about it.
Backpedaling, and Sung had the chance. Some players, of course, never get the chance, but Sung was too eager there.
Now, interesting, Ali and Chen have taken a 3-1 lead, possibly thanks to that infringement of the rules as well. I still favor Cheras to take this in 4 games, but let's see if this understanding between Ali and Chen keeps growing. Perhaps, maybe.
Sung on serve. Latif. Position. This might be an opportunity to go on a run for Rasif and Sung. But not if snatch at shots like that.
And they have been snatching at shots, and that's what really has been the difference.
So nothing wrong with that one. Reaching again. Perhaps. Well, again, it looked close, but it wasn't called. Sung has to watch out. Keep the discipline.
Well, there's a lot of space opened up on the right there. It was covered nicely in the end. Again, Chen and Adi just almost run into each other.
Traffic collision.
That's the 4th time we've seen that happen. Now on the defensive here,
yes.
And it's that hustling play again.
Rasif has shown that he has the power to finish things if he's given the chance. Targeting Sung to again.
It is pretty much right now
Small
their
advantage. It's pretty much there.
Their only option is to do that, is to target the other players, because that's the way, probably the most effective way right now that they can get them off their game, because team-wise, as I said, moving as a unified front, there's been no contest since the beginning. Too many cracks opening up on the Petaling side of the net.
Has been quick on the serves on numerous occasions on this evening. That one, unfortunately, pushed long.
Well, he's been long a few times, and he's missed a few nets. Shots in there. Actually, Chen Zhao, I have to, one of our biggest fans, has to say her reliability's been off as well. So not the best performance, all in all. And maybe this lack of understanding in the 4th time, maybe they expect it to be a little bit more together, a little bit more solid by now, is beginning to rub off. But they still have the tools to and the ingredients, I suppose you say, to make everything they need. And I still back them to come good over the course of the league. But they are in a critical game here, as we said. It is currently 9-6 to Cheras. So important.
Sung nicely finding the gap. Doesn't have to hit hard, just precise and long. And lands in an unreachable place. Yes, again, good example of teamwork. Latif was sweeping up at the back and then sort of moving forward under pressure, batting off a few quick jabs. In the end, Adrian Saya doesn't look comfortable out there.
Yeah, that's the one.